Hey, friends. Hey, friends. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. So good to see you and so good to see your face in the place. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day. Pray all is going well with you. I pray it's going well. And I want to welcome you in early. We're going to move this morning. We're not going to hesitate. We're going to go ahead and move. And we're going to go ahead and get to the lesson at hand on this Wednesday, so you can handle your business, and so I can handle my business as well. Who am I? I am Kisa, and I am Coach K. So good to see you today. It's so good to just be seen, as the old folks would say at times. It's not only good to see you, but it's good to be seen, right? So, welcome again this morning. Listen, here is my information at the bottom of the screen, KisaSharp.info. So, if you would like to set up an appointment with me to talk through what you're dealing with, your relationship issues, or change, in fact, affecting any area, I am the change coach. I'm happy to do so. And that's why I love being in a position right now to teach about to coach about change and to talk about dating, because I remember one of my mentors long time ago, when I was really first starting the coaching business. And, he talked about change. We were dealing with some sort of change, but it was more or less in the workforce back then. I will never forget that he said that, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just different. So a lot of times we struggle with trying to say change is either good or bad. Oh, it's good now that, this is happening. Oh, it's good that, the men may say it's good that we, have more options and the world is our oyster. The women may say it's good that we're now working and we can have our own money and we don't have to depend on men anymore. So it's not good or bad. I hope you see. Well, here's the deal. You can frame it however you would like, but what I'm more or less saying is that it's just change. So for some people it's great, for other people not so much. But today we're not talking just about change, right? So that's my information. In fact, on that information, and go there, you can get a free resource. You can get a free dangerous dating guide. You can get an appointment. You can get on my calendar for a free 15-minute session to talk and to provide clarity, or to see if we would be great to work together. I've worked with clients and I've worked with them for 3 sessions. I've worked with clients for 4 sessions. I've worked with clients for 1 session, and we've gotten right to what we need to get to. Speaking of 1 session, I'm offering a power session, $47. But it is a power session. And we're going to get to the heart of your dating challenges so you can step back into your power, right? Because this is what I want to talk about today. And I can talk about the mature woman. I can talk about the corporate woman, the woman who's working. This is what I want to talk about today, all right? And let me show you. Here's the dating clarity section. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one better for you. Dating clarity session. You can do 2 things there. You can pay for that session. And once you pay for it, you'll see the calendar right below. So you can take care of everything that you need to take care of there. So the dating clarity session, there is the link right there. But I'm going to do one better for you. One better. I'm actually going to post it in the comments. And that's going to give you access to not only that session, it's going to give you access to my calendar as well. Okay. So if you want to get to the bottom, you are frustrated, you don't know why you're experiencing some of the things that you are, then we need to talk about it, friends. Okay. We need to talk about it. Dating clarity session. And let me make sure that I'm on and everything is going good here. I always love to verify that I'm on, because the absolute worst thing is to be on this platform and you think everything is well and it's not. That would be the worst thing. I like to make sure my volume is okay. Frame it however you would like. Okay, wonderful. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. It is there and I am there. Okay, so we're going to move. I'm turning down the volume because I turned up the volume on my device. Y'all, I'm in an exciting new phase right now because I believe that I'm doing that which I'm really called to do. Let me say that again. I believe that I'm doing what I'm really called to do. I have tried everything. Hey, KG, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I believe I'm doing what I'm really called to do. I will just say, I have really almost tried to avoid this part. I would really almost rather avoid this conversation. But I had to enter into the space because I care, y'all. I care. And our sisters, help me, Holy Spirit. Our sisters seem to be disproportionately affected or negatively impacted by what's going on in the dating arena. And I can't sit on the sidelines and continue to watch that. I can't continue to sit on the sidelines and allow men who were born men at birth enter into this space and try to tell us as women how we should feel. Now, I'm all about them giving us a heads up. There are some great coaches. I follow a coach and I have a coach who I call my coach, Matt Hussey. He's one of them, right? Matthew Hussey. Matt is kind of straight up as far as that dating arena goes. He's straight up, right? He's going to tell you the truth. He's going to lay everything out there. I absolutely love Matt Hussey because I believe that he really tries to set everything straight as it relates to the dating arena. I think he tries to give good information to really help women. And I don't think that information matters about which community it is. He understands men and he gives you the cheat code. Matt Hussey, Matt Boggs. I really follow Steve Harvey. So what I've been doing is I've been following all this. So, God is funny because I've been following all of them over the years and I'm utilizing the information for me, right? Because these men have helped me to be in successful relationships. These men have helped me to get in marriages. Now, it's successful to attain it, but it's a whole other issue. What I have found, it's a whole other issue to maintain. Let me say that again. It's one thing called attaining the relationship of your dreams. But I want you to understand, ladies, or whoever, as you hear me live or later, it's a whole other animal to maintain. So as we get these relationships, so as we believe God, as we get our manifestation, that's great. But there's a whole other element that you have to be committed to, is that's learning how to stay in that relationship. It's new. You've never been there before. I don't care if you have I've been married before, but here's the deal. Going into this next arena and getting married in my 50s, what does that look like? And me, I'm a person, I'm not going around saying I don't need a man, because I talked to a sister yesterday and she actually said that she was going to talk to us. She is 69. She has been married 3 times. She was divorced twice and then found the husband on the 3rd time. They were married for 10 years. He is no longer here. They were married for 10 years. 69 years old. She's dating a gentleman, and they're headed toward the path of marriage again at 69. Okay. She just said she believed God. She put her request out there and God has met her. This gentleman is already doing things for her, taking the lead, paying different things. They go on trips. He plans trips. He does this. He takes the lead. So let that be an encouragement for someone. And she said, I said, there's so many women I believe who would benefit from hearing your testimony about how you found love in your 60s, almost 70 years old. She said, oh, I'd love to share. I like to encourage women to let them know their desire is there. Come on, y'all. People on this internet are arguing about whether a woman brings 50-50. And we've got a sister who says, no. I have a gentleman who takes care of everything. He's already sewing into me. He's already helping me pay, for where I live. He's already helping me. We're not even married yet, but he's already moving toward, because a man who loves you and who wants to be with you will create a plan that includes you. His future will include you. And he starts thinking about that early. And y'all, if there's something that hurts Kisa, it is seeing the fact that we are wasting time in these relationships with gentlemen who mean us no good. Sometimes men, even with women who mean you no good. But particularly, this is for the women. I'm not excluding my guys, but I know I'm called to women, okay? That women who are mature, women who are frustrated, and women who are wasting time. It hurts me to see you doing that. It hurts me because sometimes life is about a test. And this is something that I will never, ever forget that Matthew Hussey shared years ago. He said, and this was before I even got married to the second husband. So this I've been following this guy for almost 10 years, 7, 8, almost 10 years. And he said, you dating is a numbers game. The more that you date, the more you get to the one. But in our community, I believe we get to someone and they exemplify 80%, no, not even 80% maybe today. They exemplify, because you're only going to get about 80%. No one will be perfect, but they exemplify a couple of things that we like. But we know these are major red flags over here. And we just say, I'm going to ignore that because you know what? They've got most of what I want. So I'm going to ignore those red flags. Am I talking to anybody? Have you, is that your story? Or is it just Kisa? Am I talking to anybody with that? As long as they exemplify some of the things, we're good, because we will rationalize and overthink. Well, no one's perfect. Well, I'm imperfect. Well, I'm ready to get married now, so I might as well go ahead and settle and stop holding up my standards. All right. All right. So let's talk about, and remember, if you'd like a dating clarity session, one session, honey, we're going to get to it. You need big sister, you need auntie to come talk to you. And because see, your family can't tell you, your friends may not be able to tell you, or they've tried to tell you and you haven't listened. Kisa can get in there unobjectively. I don't care if you're angry with me or if you don't like what I say, I don't care. If you want to invest in what I do, let's talk. $47 you were able to pay with time, okay, over time. And we can talk about it and come up with a strategy and get you back into clarity. Because believe it or not, when you're clear and you're strong in what you know and what you want, that's when the door opens. When you're clear, when you're clear. And so but you have to walk in a confidence in this arena. You can't be timid, because guys will pick that up all day and all night. They deal in numbers with dating multiple women. So they know the women who are confident and they're going to have to show up for, and they know the ones that they can kind of toy with, right? All right. So dating clarity session, it's going here, but I've also posted it in the comments, my friend, that you can go back and you can pull those comments up as well. So here we go. Welcome in, by the way. What did you say, KG? I'm sorry. Let me see. I came in late. What is a dating clarity session? I'm glad you asked that. So a dating clarity session is basically my opportunity and our opportunity to survey very specifically what's going on with you in the dating arena. Like, what results are you getting? What would you like to change? Let's come up with a plan. Let's take an honest look, because what I find is we don't question ourselves. KG, we don't question ourselves. We just keep on going and we think that we're doing the right thing. I live in that space of questioning myself because of being a coach. So I live in that space of analysis. I live in that space of, okay, how does this make me feel? What am I looking at here? Am I doing this right? I live in that space of journaling. I live in that space of writing down my manifestation and manifestation tools. But most people don't. Most people don't know what they don't know. So if you have had a certain result, well, and you will start saying, well, it's just difficult to find someone it's difficult to find someone in this day and age. It's difficult to do in this day and age. We can get into, and these are for teaching purposes only, and I'm just reciting what people are saying because I don't believe this. I don't believe that there are no good men out there. There are some excellent men. I just mentioned that example of a 69-year-old woman who's been married 3 times, is headed to a 4th marriage because she says, I like being married. I made mistakes early, but I never gave up on marriage. So what are you doing that's not yielding the results that you want? To have someone who can take a bird's eye view and an objective view. Because what I find in our community is we don't talk. We don't talk. We just keep on going. I had an issue, and I'll say this to just clarify. I knew that things were going to change. I was married. We were separated for, at this point, 8 months. We were headed to a year of being separated. It felt like I could not move forward. This is why I do the dating clarity session. It felt like I could not move forward. The Lord just impressed upon me, you need to sit down and you need to talk to someone about where you are. I did 2 sessions. I was frustrated because I was like, God, we're not together. We're not going to get back together. So why is there this pause here? I sat down and talked to a counselor for 2 sessions. After that second session, it was weeks later, I ended up getting the divorce decree in the mail. Okay, I knew it was headed there then, because before, this person didn't really want to get a divorce. So there's something about sitting down and having a conversation and clarifying, or sharing with someone your frustrations, or sharing with someone the habits that are holding you back. Some of us want a husband, but some of us are staying in our house day in and day out. Some of us want a husband, but we know that we have this anger issue that we refuse to deal with. Some of us want a wife, but we refuse to do with the fact that we are insecure. So we don't deal with the insecurity. And God is like, deal with it. Deal with it. So the dating clarity session gives you a safe space to confess your frustration or your habit that you know is keeping you from the love that you want. Even if it's fear, it could be fear. It could be your mindset. Because again, if you say, I choose and want to be married, I choose that path, what are you doing to put yourself in situations and circumstances that increase your odds of doing that? I'm not talking about manipulating a system, but see, guys are practical. My dating coaches would say, whom I listen to and whom I follow, they would say, are you circulating? Are you out? I'm not saying go and do some ridiculous things and just go hang on the corner. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying go hang on the corner. I'm not saying that. I'm saying go and I'm saying circulate. Now, this is just me off the top of my head. That may not be your individual issue. So the beautiful thing about a dating clarity session, KG, is that I get to talk. Everything is custom because I'm an intuitive, spiritual dating life change coach who is focused heavily on the transformational. So I don't get it. So just like I'm talking to you, I'm a teacher. And I'm a transformational speaker, transformative speaker. Like my words, I'm normally not going to be yelling. I'm normally not going to be screaming at you and hyping you up. I'm normally not going to do that. I normally don't function that way. I talk to you because normally I'm going to challenge your mindset. And to challenge your mindset, it doesn't always take me yelling at you. I could be on here and be hyping, yeah, and the spirit, the Lord says this, blah, 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 blah. That's not my personality. So that, to come on here and doing that. So I recognize that I'm only going to be attracted to a certain amount of people. Only a certain amount of people can be attracted to me. I recognize that I'm not the coach for everyone, right? I tend to be calmer, and that is straight from my background, right? I'm out of a teaching ministry went to a teaching ministry for years. My spiritual father, he's like that. He teaches. He doesn't yell. He doesn't scream, right? I'm at a different church now, but my spiritual heritage, right, was really developed here in Birmingham, which is why I love this community. So even with all the stuff that goes on, I love it so. But it was developed in that teaching ministry. So I'm not the person who's going to get in there and hype you, but that dating clarity session is to see what the roadblocks are, because I believe that your particular clarity, thank you for the question, KG, but you sit in that, we talk, as it will be a virtual session, but I believe that your clarity is the place of transformation. Remember what I said. I sat down in 2 counseling sessions. There was something, I don't know what it is, but I just knew by sitting down, having that coaching session, I knew change was coming. I knew it would go ahead and move us to what the desire was. And the desire was that we went ahead and we left and we closed that chapter of our lives, because apparently, neither one of us wanted to move forward with continuing in the marriage. And that was okay. Once I had those 2 sessions with that counselor, once I made that investment in myself, because what I'm challenging in you on is this is an investment. It's not for everybody, but it's an investment. What do I promise at the end of it? Do I promise a man? Do I promise whatever? I don't promise a man. I can't do that because there are too many issues in the way. In other words, you have to choose. You have to do what we talk about. You have to make the decision to get out and circulate. You have to make the decision to change your mindset. You have to make the decision to work on those areas that you know would be a challenge in the relationship right now. You have to do that. But what I can do and what I can promise you, oh, I can help you get crystal clear and position. Come on, Lord. I can help you position yourself. It's a lot of times we think it's in the looking and it's out there. Men are very, God has given men. Let me give you a little lesson on men real quick. I'm not a man, but what I've noticed with men are very intuitive because they're the hunters. They're very discerning. God has to, and I thought about this. I said, they have to be. They lead a household. They have to be responsible for choosing a wife. Some of them made it just like women. We are very intuitive. We are very spiritual. That's the gift that God gives them to be able to teach and to be able to lead a household. And when we come along as women and we support them as the head of the household, that's something that's so beautiful and that's so godly. That's when you have that heaven on earth. Even sometimes he may miss it. You miss it sometimes, so let him miss it sometimes. You don't have to argue with that man. You don't have to, and this is what my higher self is saying, y'all. All of us have to work on it because sometimes when we are strong women and we go in corporate America and we work in corporate America, we give them our ideas. We try to bring that same strength and energy to the house. Well, honey, we should do so and so. Well, honey, we should. No. But you have to be honest. See, I'm honest with myself. You, my friend, you, sis, you have to be honest. You have to be honest. And a lot of times, that's why we don't see the manifestation. Because we're not honest. This session is about honesty. Too many times in our community, we hide. Too many times in our community, we will not address things. Too many times in our community, we shun counsel. We shun therapy. I am not a therapist. I work with them. They have a role. I have a role. A therapist, quick lesson. Therapist is normally going to go back to your past and deal with your past, how you got here, what happened, what traumas did you experience. A licensed therapist, a licensed professional counselor. How did you get here? How did that make you feel? What is your relationship with so and so? And then once you get there, what the coach will do, the coach will say, now that you understand your history, now that you understand how that you are, what is your desire? Let's take all of that, those experiences. You've overcome them for a reason. Now let's move forward to manifesting what you want. Think about the football coaches and all that. And y'all, sometimes I'm squinting because I can't, I need my glasses and I've got all these lights going. Think about the football coaches. Nick Saban, or whoever your favorite coach is, right? He's just one of the more popular coaches. The coaches don't get out there on the field and do the work. A lot of people think that I don't want to coach because I don't want anybody telling me, what I need to do. Coaches don't tell you what to do. Coaches work with you to bring out the wisdom that's already on the inside of you. Kisa doesn't have the advice for you to tell you need to do so and so. No, I know one of the greatest skills is the ability to be able to listen as a coach, because this is what I will maintain. I've been full-time coaching since 2020, so it's 6 years in the game, almost 7 years. It will be 7 years next April. This is what I would say to you. You have every answer that you need on the inside of you. You see how I'm just talking to you right now? I'm not yelling, I'm not hyping. That's how I am. You have every answer that you need on the inside of you. Your heart knows the way. Your heart knows the gentleman who's your husband. Your heart knows your next career move. For those of you who need wisdom in careers, your heart knows him. But we have to be willing to listen to its gentle guidance. Your heart, it already knows. A coach intuitively understands that. And a coach can help you pull that out. I sat, a substitute teacher, y'all, substitute teacher. I sat in a classroom one day talking to some beautiful sisters, beautiful brown-skinned sisters at a high school. They were in school suspension because they don't send them home a lot of times. They send them in suspension right there. I asked toward the end of the session, I said, what's going on with y'all? Y'all are some beautiful sisters. Why are you in here? Why are you in here? They told me, oh, we're having this issue. We're having that issue. We've got this at home. And, sometimes when I come here, I can be frustrated and I take it out because I don't really have anybody to talk to. Do you know one young lady looked at me and said, I really appreciate you asking us that because nobody asked me how I feel. I appreciate you asking me what I think about that, Miss Sharp, because nobody ever asked me how I feel. Dating clarity session. I'm asking you how you feel. I go to those schools. And I listen to those children. I'm not there just to administer anything. I'm there to listen. I'm there as auntie. I'm there as, in some cases, I could be grandma, but I'm there to help those brown-skinned children understand how to deal with challenges. A young gentleman, one of the last assignments that I took at one of the high schools, he came and sat by me. That child gravitated toward me from day one. I tried to come in like I'm hey, I'm gonna need y'all to sit. I need y'all to sit down. I'm gonna need you to be quiet. I don't care if I do that because I got stamped on my forehead. I'm nice. I have stamped on my forehead. I will listen to you. I love you, honey. After I did the role that, hey, I'm gonna need y'all to sit down and be quiet. I don't need all that. You hear how my voice can go there real quick. I need you to sit down. I don't need all that. You're doing too much. That. So I tell you, you're doing too much. I'm gonna need you to sit down. That young man came to me at the end of each day. I was there 3 days. He came to me. This was recent. At the end of the third day, he hugged me each day, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I just fussed at you. Why are you being nice? And I didn't really fuss at him, but I just I have a heavy hand with him. I'm from the generation of the 70s babies. Anybody other than me? 70s babies? Generation of we don't play that. Anybody other than me? Or am I here by myself here to do it? Can I get any likes or anything like that? Generation of, honey, we don't play that. Homie, don't play that. You do what I say. I ask you to sit down. Come on, I need you to sit down. I'm not being disrespectful. I just need you to sit down and focus and be a student and stay in a child's place because that's what we were told. Okay, I know I can't be out here by myself. I know I can't. At the end of that third day, that baby, that sweetheart, came up to me. And he just came across me and sat down beside me. And I said, hey, what's going on? I didn't even recognize at the time. I didn't recognize at the time that he was getting ready to talk or getting ready to tell me some stuff. I'm not out there by myself. Me too, KG. Me too. Come on now, Felicia. Amen. Good morning, Felicia. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. That baby came across me and sat down right by me and told me his whole story. How he was living with his dad. He wasn't living with his mother, his dad and his stepmother. And, sometimes she's not all that nice to me. She doesn't pay attention to me. Sweet kid. I watched him over those 3 days. Kind guy. Kind. And he told me his life story. Well, he knows, God knows I'm confidential, so I'm not going to embarrass him. The kids were just kind of watching. But he just told me everything. He said, I'm kind of angry. The teacher said something to me and, I just literally just wanted to go and do whatever. And she was short with me because sometimes, friends, you have to pay attention to our children in these public schools. Because sometimes they're children who, they're teachers and administrators who don't look like your children, who don't look like you, and who don't look like me. And they're administering discipline. And sometimes they do so unfairly. They don't understand our kids. Sometimes our kids are just a little more hyper. Sometimes our boys move a little bit more. They mean no harm. They're as sweet as pumpkin pie. That, not, I don't mean sweet in a derogatory way. They are kind and respectful. Just be a little hyper. Just have to understand how our kids deal. But he was upset. He said, I got a little angry because, she yelled at me and she didn't do whatever. So I talked to that baby and I said, sweetheart, I said, no, I'm not calling him a baby. I'm saying baby because of his heart. I loved his heart and I fell in love with him. I said, sweetheart, you're going to be with this teacher you're going to be going on to the next grade in less than 2 months. You've got about 6 weeks left. There's no need for you to do anything to mess up your chances of graduating or going to the next class. You're only with her an hour a day, 40 minutes a day. So I want you to, Miss Keisa wants you to handle it maturely. Miss Keisa wants you to understand this is just temporary. And I know you're frustrated at home, sweetheart, but guess what? It gets better. You're gonna graduate in just a little while. You're going to be out there and be on your own. I understand, because I had some tough situations growing up too. Don't think because I'm sitting here that everything has been perfect. No, I had a tough upbringing too. I had a really tough father. We were, my parents were divorced. I understand, sweetheart. But guess what? I'm here. I'm standing here to tell you, you're going to make it. That's what I do in those schools. That's what I do, because some of us ain't talking to our kid. We're so concerned about a man. We're so concerned about a woman. We're not concerned. That dad should be talking to his child, knowing that stepmother may or may not really like him. That's real talk. That stepmother may or may not like that child. So he got to grow up navigating this woman mistreating me, and he may have a negative thought or impression of African American women because of how this stepmother is treating him. So God, I believe, put me there to say specifically for that child, 3 days. And on the third day, that's when we talk. And I told him, nah, hang in there. I've had some challenges. My dad was very mean spirited. God rest his soul. But we got to be truthful. I'm not going to keep hiding stuff. I had an adult woman call me recently and tell me about the fact that how her parent treated her. Ever dealt with a narcissist, y'all? That's real. That's real. I'm not saying that other communities don't deal with it, but we deal with it in our communities. And apparently this is what the Lord wanted me to talk about. So the dating clarity session, I've got my notes and I'm off notes again, but I'm getting ready to wrap it up. KG, I really appreciate that question. I posted it here in the comments, but the dating clarity session, that's about, and I'm going to post it in another place, but that's about us getting clear. That's what that's about. Oh, hold on. There it is. But it's about us getting clear. It's about you getting clear. I'm not there to tell you what to do. But when you stand in your clarity about what you want, I'm not saying being a hard nose. I'm not saying that. But have you ever heard, has anybody ever heard of love blocks? I need to do a session on that, love block. There are things that are blocking us from achieving love. There are things that are blocking us from moving to the next level. But here's the thing. If you don't know what you don't know. If you don't know it, could be a mindset. It could be a habit. Maybe somebody has told you, well, you're not approachable. You're not approachable. Maybe they won't tell you. A man likes to look. Men are attracted by what they see. So how are you presenting on a day-to-day basis? A pretty woman, everybody can go see that a mile a minute. I mean, they're all around with all of the opportunities that we have. I'll say that kindly, with the opportunities that we have, today. But what are you doing to be that woman who stands out from the crowd? So, and then once you get him, what are you doing to stand out from the rest of the pack? Confidence is a beautiful thing. And confidence separates you. I'm not talking about being ugly. I'm not talking about, flaunting your education in front of him, flaunting your achievements in front of him. You don't have to do that. No, a man who really loves you, he's going to celebrate you for what you've done, and he's going to cheer you on. But what separates you? What's hindering you? Maybe, it could be as simple as someone who's connected to you. They don't believe in all that. Ain't, you've got somebody in your ear. Ain't, these men aren't any good. I had someone in my ear like that back in the day, and I said, oh, whoop, nope, nope, nope. I don't receive that. You're not going to get in my ear telling me these men aren't any good. There are no good men out here. All of them are the same. Nope. Not going. Well, I'm not going to entertain that. You're not going to give me that. So that's what the session is about. Seeing where you are, an honest analysis of where you are in the dating arena, and just an opportunity for you to redefine your own boundaries and you to reset the atmosphere, because sometimes we need a reset, and sometimes we need to sit down and be able to tell somebody, man, I am scared being at this place. Man, I'm operating out of fear. Man, I am, and then my question would always be to you, it will always be in any session, what are you doing? What are you studying? What are you standing on for those who are Christian, for those who are not? What are you standing on? What are you believing? Are you standing on a scripture? You want a husband? Do I have anybody who is under the sound of my voice who wants a husband? Show of hands in the comments. I'll wait for your response. So am I talking to anybody out there who wants a husband? Am I talking to anybody out there who wants a husband? Maybe not, or maybe you all are just aren't able to respond, or maybe you can give me some likes or hearts, okay? I'm on a different platform, so I'm not necessarily able to see if you are hearting and doing whatever. But if I'm talking to someone and if a marriage is your goal, what are you standing on? I love that. KG said yes. I love that. Just that thought, just that boldness is something that will shift something, KG. To be able to say, yes, I want to be married. Yes, I want a husband. Yes, I want the happy ending. Don't you know there are some women who are afraid to even say that? They're afraid. They are afraid to be able to say that. They're afraid. There's no shame in my game. I'm believing God for a godly man. There is no shame. Good morning, Marvin, my frenzy. There is no shame in wanting a godly relationship. And I believe that God says there is nothing that's impossible with him. Nothing, 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 nothing. And for those of you who don't know, I actually have a group. It's called It's Not Too Late for Love. It's Not Too Late for Love on Facebook. It's not too late for love. We just encourage each other because I believe that's mainly what singles need and want. There was a word that the Lord gave me last year, and I said, it's already done. Your husband, that's already done. Marriage, it's already done. Now, what we need to do and what we have to do is we have to stand. We have to prepare ourselves. We have to believe. We have to not compromise. We have to not give up hope. We have to continue to keep ourselves up and to believe God for the opportunity. I confess I'm in the right place at the right time. So you say you want a husband. So my challenge is, what are you doing to prepare for him? Are you praying for him? Are you confessing? Are you keeping yourself in top shape? One of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm making sure to, I'm in that entrepreneurial space. So sometimes it would be easy to kind of wake up and kind of go, half at it or do whatever. No. Every day I'm waking up, because if I were going out, to a building, if I were going to work on someone's job, I'm going to do the hair, do the makeup. So as an entrepreneur, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do the hair and do the makeup. I love being in this space. Because it forces me to get up. I don't want to come on here looking crazy. I may not be perfect. That first day, Monday, I'm looking a little, and some days I may come on and look a little, special. But it forces me to get up. It forces me to dress. It forces me to show up in a way that I may not otherwise. Because when I was thinking about doing this series, y'all, I'll be honest with you, I kept thinking, oh man, I want to do this at 9:30. I want to do it at 10 o'clock. I have the option to do that, especially I don't have to worry about school anymore, so I can sleep in. I don't have the option. I don't have to worry about getting up so early. No, what I found is that because I really wanted to start it the week before, like the first day of May. But here's what I found. I found that once I leave this house, once I get out of here, go start doing some other things, it's easy to let that slip. Man, it's easy. Oh man, I got all this other stuff because I have other things on my agenda. It's easy to let it slip, or it just becomes later and later as more people get up, as the day gets busier, and I go out and work in my offices away from home. It's more challenging. So I said, you know what? This is going to challenge everything, but you're going to have to get up. You have to get up. You're going to have to show up, and you're going to have to do it early. All right. So apparently it was talked to me. And here's what I want to know. Friday, I really would love to do kind of a free for all session. I would really want to do some coaching, but I want to be able to do that in a sense where you can send me anonymous questions. So if are there burning issues that you're dealing with that you want me to kind of talk about? Do you want me to research and bring to you? Are there questions that you have? Are there things that you would like for me to touch on? Are there things that you would like for me to touch on Friday? I really want to do a live coaching session. I'll do another day of teaching and talking about a dating topic tomorrow. But on Friday, I really want to do some live coaching. So my question to you is, and the dating clarity session is in the comments, and you can pay in one of several ways, my friends, to get clarity. I cannot promise you a man. I'm not promising you a man. I'm promising you a sort of straight, no chaser look at where you are in the dating world. What could be hindering you, assessing where you are, and let's get back to your clarity, because your clarity is your strength. That's what happens in that session in 1 hour. We survey where you are. We look at some of the hindrances, and we help you get a plan and get back on track to you positioning yourself for that relationship. That's it in a nutshell. And a lot of times we can't do it on our own. A lot of times our friends may not even tell us the truth. Girl, you know, every time a guy talks to you, you look the other way. I had a friend tell me the other day, do you give guys a chance, or are you cutting everyone out? You cut them off kind of quick. You have to listen to that. You cut them off a little quick, Kisa. Are you really giving these guys chances? Have to listen to that. So you're going to have to listen to what your friend, not going to say, you may not be listening to what your friends say. As a coach, I can tell you that. I can tell you the hard thing, because after that session, I'm not going to talk to you anymore unless you want to talk to me. But because even if you do, fine by me, I'll tell you the truth if you want to hear it. But you have to be ready to confront the truth. You have to be ready to confront the truth. Okay. So Friday, let's go back to that. I will have a special guest on, and we're going to be talking about the dating arena. I'm going to announce that a little bit later. Maybe I'll just surprise you that Friday morning. We're going to have a guest on, so that's going to be exciting. I'll teach one more day, and we will have at least one guest on. I have another person who shall remain nameless. They were contemplating, but they may have decided they don't want to do it. But we're going to talk about the dating environment, and I would love for you, if you have any questions, send them to me. Would love to chat. Okay, that's the information for the dating clarity session. You don't need it, no worries. If you do, I'm here. And if you have any other questions about it, DM me, message me the word ready, and we can get this party started right. And we can get this party started quickly. I am Kisa, Coach K. I am going to give you your time back at this point so you can enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back on here tomorrow. So today was about me explaining what I'm doing with the dating clarity session, because my friend KG asked the question. All right. And hopefully you got some things out of this too about what you can be doing to prepare for the one. Praying, preparing yourself, getting in the best shape that you can do, maybe even confessing over him, standing on scripture, petitioning God, putting yourself in arenas where you know that they're intelligent men. You get out of the house, you go have coffee every now and then, you go to the library every now and then. Just gave you some other tips, but you get out of your space and you get out of your comfort zone in order to meet the one and become a student of dating, become a student of relationships. I think that has been one of the things that has revolutionized my life. So I stand in no fear. I have no fear because I've become a student of it. Right? And I trust the process. And becoming a student, what you learn, you open the door to receive. Ooh, I've never said that before. What you learn, you open the door to receive. When you learn about dating accurately, you open the door to receive. When you learn about how to become a millionaire, you open the door to receive. Okay? So let's open the door to receive the one God has for you. Book your clarity session. I can tell you, it won't be like anything you've ever experienced before, but it will fast track you to being in position to receive the one. I'm cheering for you and praying for you as well. Be back on here tomorrow. I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm Kisa, Coach K. Have any questions? DM me. Want to see a topic that I should cover in that dating arena? DM me. I'll see y'all later. Bye.